Hello Stampers, thanks for joining me today. This is Michelle Zindorf and I have a cute birthday card for you. I thought we'd go to the beach today with our little truck and presents. These images come from the Trucking Along stamp set from Stampin' Up. This is a great online exclusive and it has the truck, and these are two-step stamps, so the truck gets colored in by this stamp and so forth with these other images. Now there's lots that you can put in the back of the truck, and this set will take you through the entire year. We have palm trees, and we have presents, and we have plants and trees and flowers, and we even have a Christmas tree here for Christmas. And there's sentiments to go along with these items. And there's a little like fence thing that goes in the back of the truck. I don't know what these are called, sideboards maybe? And even a shadow for the bottom of the truck. So this is a great stamp set to pick up. And if you're going to pick it up, you might as well pick up the coordinating punch for this. It has the truck and the tires and so forth. So that's a great bundle to pick up and save 10% on the items together. So we're going to get going on our project here today. And I'm going to have all the dimensions for this project down below this video. You can just click more under the description and you'll see them all there, along with the links to the products that I'm using today. So first of all, we're going to put our background in for our little scene here. And I'm going to use a Post-it note. I have Post-it notes that are 3x5. This is my favorite size to use because you don't have to worry about it being big enough for your to go across your panel here. And I like to line one side up of the Post-it note along the side of the cardstock, and that assures me that I have a straight horizon line here. Now I want to do this like about halfway down. You know, this is a guesstimate. There we go. And now we have a straight horizon line. It's all lined up here. Oh boy, you can tell what I've been doing today and what colors I've been using. You can always tell by what's on my hands. So we're going to start with our sky here, and I'm going to use Petunia Pop to start out with and a blending brush. And I'm going to go back and forth along this Post-it note edge here. This will be the bottom of our sky. And I'm using back and forth motion to begin with, and then I'm going to finish off with the circular motion. And that's going to give you that soft look at the top edge of your color here. So that was Petunia Pop. Beautiful color. And then we'll go to our next color here, and I'm going to start with my lightest blue, and that's Azure Afternoon. I'm going to turn my panel upside down here. It's the easiest way to do this. That way I don't get color where I don't want it, because I don't want it in that Petunia Pop. So I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to go back and forth here, and then I'm going to finish off with the circular motion. Now I want some light area in there. So there's our Azure Afternoon. I'm going to get darker here. And I'm going to go to Blueberry Bushel using a blending brush again. And I'm just going to add a little bit of this Blueberry Bushel at the very top of my panel. I'm going to try not to obliviate that lighter blue there. There we go. Now we've got a nice sky happening. And it's okay that this side's a little down further than that side. All those little imperfections give you a great looking sky. All right, and then one more thing before we finished our sky. We're going to put a nice little sun up here. I'm going to use crushed curry for this, and I'm just going to put some ink at the very tip of my brush here, and then I'll do a little circular motion. I'm a little this left side of middle. I want to make sure I have plenty of room for my ribbon to be here, and that's all there is to a sun in my sky. Okay, so we have that done. Now we're going to put our water side in. That's all of our skies all finished here. I'm going to turn this upside down and I'm going to put this Post-it note on, and I'm going to leave like a 1/16 of an inch of that sky showing above my Post-it note here. And that's so I don't get a ghost line. If you put it right up to the edge of that, you're going to have a white line in between your sky and your water, and that's absolutely not what we want. So we're going to start with our light color in our water. I'm going to go back to Azure Afternoon. I'm going to turn this upside down here. And we're going to put some of this in, and we're going to do like half of this unmasked panel here with this. So there's our Azure Afternoon, and then we're going to go back and get a little darker here. We're going to go back to Blueberry Bushel. This is going to be the top part of our water, way out in the ocean. And I'm going to add some of that right along that Post-it note edge there. So we have our lighter blue and then our darker blue. And then we can take this off. And there's our water and our sky. And now we just need to do our sand. So I'm going to bring in that crushed curry to begin with. And a blending brush. And I'm going to put that crushed curry in here. I'm going to leave a little bit of that white in between the blue and the yellow. That way we don't get that green look because blue and yellow make green. So we want to leave just a little bit of that white in there. And that will also act as our sea foam coming in. So that was our crushed curry. And then I want to get a little darker in our sand. So I'm going to bring out our, let's see here. I'm going to bring out our pecan pie. And we're going to add this to the bottom of our sand area. Not covering all that yellow up. We want a nice bright beach look here. So right along the bottom. Voila, there is our sky and our water and our beach. Okay, before we put up that pecan pie, I'm going to grab this stamp. This is our shadow for our truck. And it's just this little line stamp that comes right out of that Trucking Along stamp set. And I'm going to add this on our ground where I want my truck to be. And that's the shadow for the truck. And then we use that pecan pie. Okay, so we got that done. And now we're going to do our truck. And I just have a scrap of basic white here. Now, if I didn't say what this panel size was, it's 3.5 by 4 1/4, and we're doing it landscape. So make sure it's longer than it is tall. And now we have a piece of scrap paper here, and I'm going to stamp my truck. And I'm going to use this Memento Tuxedo Black for this. And I'm going to stamp my outline for my truck. This is a 2-step stamp. So we're going to make sure that we have that done in that nice black. So there's our truck. And then we have another image I want to use before we put our black up here. And that's the little presents that'll be in the back of the truck. I'm going to use that Memento Tuxedo Black for that also. And we'll just stamp it right here. So we have our 2 images. And now I want to put this black up before I put my elbow in it. I'll set it aside. And I'm going to get out my Granny Apple Green. And this will be whatever color you want to do your truck. I did mine Granny Apple Green. You pick a color that you like and stamp your truck out in it. So we're just going to line this up. Give it a good stamping, and there is our truck all colored in. Voila! So we just need to do our wheels. So I'm going to grab that Memento Tuxedo Black again. I forgot that we needed that for the wheels. We could have did that earlier, huh? So here's our wheel stamp. It does both wheels at the same time. This is, I need to stand up and do this so I can look down. Just want to line these up here. Give them a stamp. There's our wheels. I love two-step stamping. The truck is actually 3 steps because you do the wheels too. Okay, so we have that. And now let's do our ribbons on our packages. So I have our little stamp here that has our ribbons on it. And I'm going to do those with crushed curry. So I'm bringing in that crushed curry. I always try to repeat some colors in my scene so it doesn't get so busy. So keep that in mind to repeat. Let's see if I can line this up here. There we go. There is our ribbons. And then we're going to do just a little coloring on our packages here. And I wanted to repeat that Petunia Pop color in our sky there. So I'm bringing it in here in our packages. So I'm just going to color in the actual packages with this color. I like that color combination. Add some stripes on that one. Okay, so that's all done. And I'm going to go ahead and punch my truck out. So I just have my punch here, and I'm just going to line this up in my punch window. So I'm looking at this from the back side of the punch. And then, whoop. Hold it still and give it a punch. There is our truck. Now, you can always go in. I have this a little more down towards the bottom is all punched out, but I left a little too much white at the top. You can always go in and clean this a little bit up. That's actually a little easier than cutting the whole thing out. Here we go. And there's my little truck. All right, super cute. Now, see how this window is on this when you put this on here, how the window is white? I don't want my windows to be white because there are actually should be blue because we have that water in the background. So I'm just going to color in my windows with, I have the light Azure Afternoon Stampin' Blend marker. So I'm just going to color this window in blue and that little bit of window there in the back. Now that looks a little more natural, right? Okay, so we need our little packages here. And I'm just going to cut them out. And I leave a little bit of white underneath my packages so I can glue them to the back of the truck without having to cover up any of my packages. So I'm just going to fussy cut this out a little bit here. And it doesn't take much. There we go. And I'm also going to cut out this little triangle here next to that stripe package on the edge. Okay, so there we have our presents. And since we left that white on there, we can just have that all the way down in there without have that edge to glue on. So I'm just going to add some multi-purpose glue along that little white piece here that we left on. And then put it in our truck. Got a little wild with my glue there, but you know what? I'm just scraping it off with my fingernail. There's our packages. So they're in our truck. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this whole thing onto my little scene here. You can pop it up if you want to with Stampin' Dimensionals. I decided to pull it down because we're going to be popping up this whole panel. So there's my truck. Cute, cute. I love this little bright scene that he's in. All right, done with our little scene. So I want to make this little tab here. So I'm bringing in the Keeping Tabs stamp set, and I thought it'd be cute to use this little polka dot one here. So that's what I'm using. I got my little polka dot tab image here, and I'm going to use the Petunia Pop ink. Just to tie that tab into our sky there. So we're going to repeat that color. Inking it up and then giving it a little stamp here on our scrap of basic white. All right, and now I have the coordinating punch for that Keeping Tabs stamp set. I don't know if I give you enough time to see this. It's such a cute stamp set. Has all these different little tabs in it, the different designs. And then it has all these sentiments that will fit on that little tab. So you can get the coordinating punch, or you can also get the die set that coordinates with this. Now I'm just going to line this up here. And give it a punch. And there is our little tab. All right. I'm going to stamp this happy birthday sentiment on the top of this tab here. Right there. So now we have our sentiment on there. I'm going to let that dry just for a second while I put my ribbon on. So I have some Petunia Pop ribbon that goes, of course, perfectly with this. I love how Stampin' Up's products just match. You don't even have to think about it. So I'm going to cut just a little length of ribbon here. And I'm going to line it up, leave about, a ½ inch there of space. And I'm going to use little mini glue dots to adhere these ends to the back of my panel. There we go. There's that strip on there. And then I just want another little strip here for my little tie. And I'm going to slide this little strip underneath the first one, about halfway down. And I'm going to give a little tie here. I kind of line the legs up to where I want them. I'm going to move this down just a little bit. And then tie it tight. That way the legs are going the right directions. Cut the little legs off. That just sounds bad that you're cutting somebody's legs off. But there's our little tie Really cute. Now we're going to go back to our little tab here, and I'm just going to add glue on the very edges down here at the bottom on each side of this tab, and then insert our card and panel in there and have it make sure you got it straight. There we go. So there's our little tab on there. Now for our actual card, I have a card base. This is basic white, and it's 5.5 by 8.5, and then I folded it in half to create my quarter card. So on the front of it, I'm going to add a piece of Petunia Pop Designer Series paper. And this comes out of the 2024-26 In Color Designer Series paper pack. So I'm going to add this piece here, and it is 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to just center that up on the front of our card. Then I'm going to pop this one up. I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals for this. I use quite a few dimensionals. I've seen people put these on with like hardly any dimensionals. And I always think, oh, when that gets to where it's going to be smushed in the middle. So I always like to make sure I have dimensionals in the middle of my panels. Okay, take the backs off. And then I'm just going to put this on. I want to put this on a little lower than it is. I don't have as much of this showing at the bottom here, and I'm not sticking it all the way down yet. I've just kind of laid it on there. I want to make sure it's good and straight before I press it on. Nothing worse than pressing that down and then looking at it and it's crooked. So there we have our front of our card. Turns out super cute and bright. I love a bright birthday card. Now for the inside, I don't know what sentiment I want to put in yet. I'm not sure what to use this for. So I'm just going to add a couple panels here. I have a basic white panel that's 3 3/4 by 5. And I'm going to put it on a piece of Petunia Pop that is 4 by 5 1/4. There we go. Then we're going to add this on the inside of our card. We'll add our love in. And we'll just add this right in here. And that's the inside of our card. It's nice and weighted. It weighs about the same as the front. That's what you want for a nice substantial card. I always like panels in there so I don't have a flimsy back to my card. And there is our card for today. I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice bright birthday card that'll bring a smile to somebody's face. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Toodles.